Hi, this is Linda Larson Schlitz from the Faucet of Hope show. I'm really glad you joined me today, and I am so excited to have my friend Amy Myska with. Amy and I were both counselors for the Wisconsin Job Center, and we did that for a lot of years and really enjoyed working with each other, though we were in different districts. And now we are both kind of sort of retired from the job centers, and we are kind of venturing out on a new thing that we are so excited about, doing a lot of the same activities, helping job seekers and employers to kind of match them together. And it's going to be really awesome because we've got a whole repertoire of employer training as well as training for job seekers. So, Amy, welcome. I'm so glad you came with here today and
Thanks.
looking so much forward to working with you. So, tell me what's your background a little bit and how you came to being where you are today here in Wausau, Wisconsin with me.
Well, I'm actually originally from Wausau, Wisconsin. Well, the Wausau, Wisconsin area. I actually have a background, a master's degree from University of Superior, so way up north,
Mhm.
and an undergrad in sociology from the University of Eau Claire. And I actually started out my career as a high school counselor in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I spent 2 years there, which was really fun, just kind of working with different populations, which was great. Working with high school students, which is always interesting. And then moved up to the college at the University of Minnesota Duluth, where I worked there as a career counselor, which was really fun watching people kind of take flight into their new careers as they graduated. And then finally worked as a program manager for a federal grant to help build capacity, which doesn't make sense to a whole lot of people, but helping them find different things that they need to provide better programming for youth agencies, which was really great. And then when that grant ended, I started working for the state of Wisconsin as a career counselor. I've worked actually in 3 districts. I worked in the Superior District, did the majority of my career in the Green Bay area, and then finally ended up in the Appleton area. So one thing I always think that I bring to the table, my expertise, is just knowledge of the different landscapes, what's going on in each of those communities, and how I can help.
Awesome. Amy and I have so many things that are in common because I also got a master's degree. I got my undergrad from UW Superior and then my master's from UW Stout, but I too started as a school counselor. And then I also have been working as an outpatient therapist in addition to working at the job center for 15 years and then teaching college and university kinds of classes as well as working with employers. And I teach for employers the how to develop a mental health friendly workplace. So we're going to bring all of these things together. We've got different skill sets. I am completely disorganized. Amy is not. So that's a really awesome thing, and I'm so looking forward to working together. My belief is that we are all faucets of hope and that we all have different skills, abilities, talents, interests, and experiences. And because of that, we are so valuable that nobody else in the world can do what we can do. Nobody who's ever come before us or who will come again because we are unique. And that's what's so beautiful about this is that I've tried to be doing a business here and get the ball rolling, but I don't have all the skills. And Amy doesn't either. I've got things that she doesn't have. So together, we're going to bring other folks into what we're doing to expand things. So we've got a couple Facebook pages. One of them is the Faucet of Hope Business Collaborative. We're going to be posting a bunch of stuff on there. I also started one, findmeajobilove.com or on Facebook. And we also have a LinkedIn profile
Mhm.
and we have a Twitter profile, and those are Find Me a Job I Love. So you can go to any of those and find us on there and tweet away. Amy's got expertise in LinkedIn and some Facebook. So we're going to do some LinkedIn chat sessions, right, Amy?
We're going to do some discussion groups, as well as one of the services we're going to be offering is a lot of times people will create LinkedIn profiles, and I'll ask them what is on your LinkedIn profile, and they're like, I don't even remember my password because I haven't been on there in so long. And I've always heard that the only thing worse than not having a LinkedIn account is having one that's out there that's blank.
Right.
So a lot of people don't realize that that's where they can really develop their portfolio but they need to be really cognizant about what are they sharing, what aren't they sharing, and what's appropriate to share on a professional page. And that's really what LinkedIn is.
Right.
LinkedIn is not Facebook.
Yeah, it's not chit-chatty kinds of stuff talking
Yep.
about what you wore today and
Or
how,
bunnies.
or bunnies, or how irritated you are with whoever. But that stuff does matter, and we're going to talk about that. I'll tell you what, as an employer, because I ran a nonprofit for several years, I went on Facebook to look at people's profile. Honestly, I
Mm-hmm.
did. I went on there just to see what they posted, and I had one guy presented wonderful. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to be the best. I went on his profile, and he's like, in his little gangster outfit with the F in this and F in that. And needless to say, he presented very differently than who he obviously really was in his real life. So these things matter, and this is what Amy and I are going to talk about in what we're going to call our Find Me a Job I Love um,
Series.
series. It's a whole series. It's kind of a boot camp because we're going to get very intense, and in a matter of a few weeks, we're going to give you everything. If you don't have a clue what you want to do, but you don't want to do what you're doing right now, we're going to take you from point A to point Z to try to help you get into a job that you love to do. Because I'm telling you, folks, if you don't want to go to work in the morning, you're in the wrong place. It may not be the wrong skill set job, but it may be the wrong environment. So you either need to learn how to get along at work, or you need to get out of there and find a different job. And sometimes things change, but as career counselors and me as a mental health counselor, we can help you to figure those things out. The other thing that we are both, I think, experts at is how do you look at barriers? Amy's done work in maximum security prisons, helping those folks to do this whole job search thing and to find their passion, right?
Yeah, I think I've really run the gamut of working in doing workshops from kids as young as kindergarten all the way up to the oldest woman I worked with was 82, and she was just looking for a part-time job. Um, but then I also really work with a lot of people that I consider to have either general barriers or significant barriers to employment.
Right.
And some of these are little to no work history. Maybe they're changing careers and they don't know what that next career is going to be, but they don't know what they want to do, but they know
Right.
what they don't want to
Right.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they have criminal records. And in particular, what we find is that is a huge stereotype against people is if they do actually have a criminal history. So how do you combat that? How do you get past that and really show the skill set that you can bring to the table? Because everybody makes mistakes.
Exactly.
But also we need to make sure that they're applying for jobs that make sense for them. And I can tell you that out of all the people that I think have the biggest barrier to employment are the people that walk in my office and when I say, what do you want to do? And they say anything. I say, well, if you want your job search process to last longer and be daily frustrated, look for anything because that means everything's a possibility. And that means you're going to spend hours just looking at job postings before you even figure out what you want to do.
Right. And then they're going to take a job and go, this is not what I want. And they don't last long.
Mm-hmm.
People who are miserable in their jobs either get sick, is usually how it goes, headaches, migraines, upset stomachs, depression, anxiety, and then they either quit or get fired. That's not where you want to be. You need money in the bank. So if you're going to have to work, you may as well find a job that you enjoy doing. And a lot of people, too, the older folks who have retired and now they're miserable because they don't feel worthwhile anymore. They don't have a purpose. That's another area where we are going to try and help people figure out what can they do? How do you put your crafts to work? How do you get paid doing some of these things? And that whole thing with a criminal record, I have such passion for working with that population. I started a homeless program here in the Wausau area for homeless veterans and alcoholics and addicts and people coming out of prison. So rewarding, but so many people think, oh, I'm worthless. I can't do anything. And I'll tell you what, if you go on our findmeajob.com,
Love.com.
findmeajobilove.com website and go to the blog, you're going to find one there on transferable skills of the professional drug dealer. And that was probably my most fun, most rewarding resume I ever did because this guy really had not done anything. But if you think about it, he'd done a lot. He had done customer service and sales, managerial, supervisory, packaging, shipping and
Marketing.
receiving, marketing. He'd done all of those
Just
things.
chose the wrong product.
That's right. So we put it in a very powerful business management format, in a
Mhm.
skills format, and he got a job in a week and he hadn't gotten one call in 6 months.
Yep.
So the possibilities are endless, and we're experts. I'm telling you, we know what we're doing. We really want to help you. So if you can, if you come to our website, findmeajobilove.com, we're going to get you hooked up and do some individual one-on-one coaching with you. We'll get you hooked up into some free webinars that aren't going to cost you anything, and we really do want to help, right, Amy?
Absolutely. And in particular, we have a three-part series that I'm kind of in charge of. It's kind of to walk you through the job search process. So to make sure you know how to actually look for jobs. One thing I used to hear all the time is, I'm on 15 different websites. Why? Why are you on 15 different websites that are showing the same jobs over and over again? And I've actually even had people accidentally apply for the same job twice.
Oh.
So really how to utilize the technology that's out there, because online applications are so prevalent, or you're uploading your resume to to a website. And then once you get there, do you actually have, once you find that job you're interested in, do you have those personal marketing materials that are really going to be effective? Because the first thing I always ask people is, are you getting interviews? And if you're not getting interviews, then the first thing we look at is your resume. If your resume isn't selling you, and you can sell yourself in person, and you say, I wish I could just get into that interview, you're not going to get there without a powerful resume.
Right.
And so we need to make sure that they're utilizing that one piece of paper, or maybe even two pieces of paper, to best sell them in the best possible light. And then utilizing the cover letter in a meaningful way. So many people forget to use cover letters, or are afraid to use cover letters because they don't know what to put in them. So how to actually utilize those. And then finally, how do you sell yourself in an interview so that you do stand out above the crowd? So when they're done with the whole day or 2 days or 3 days of interviewing, and they've interviewed 5, 10, 15 people, how do they remember you?
Right.
And not just the other person that was before you?
I'll tell you one thing. Every employer I have ever talked to in my 40 years of working and 25 years as a counselor, the person who sends the thank you gets the job.
Mm-hmm.
If they're torn between 2 people or 5 people or 10 people, the person who sends the thank you every single time.
It's funny that you bring that up. Is I was actually watching Good Morning America one day, and Matt Lauer was interviewing a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and he goes, how do you choose from all these good candidates? And he said, we put all the candidates that we interviewed in a pile, and we wait a week. And all the people that actually sent us thank yous, those people get pulled back out of the pile, and that's how we choose.
Wow. Isn't that powerful? So don't forget to do these things. And the cover letter and the resume aren't the same. But we're getting into our stuff, and you want to hear all the details. You need to know this stuff because it is competitive out there.
Mm-hmm.
So please go to findmeajobilove.com and sign up. Hook up with our blog. You'll get all kinds of information. You're going to get free stuff. You're going to get tidbits. We're going to do little blurbs on these things we talk about,
Yeah.
so you'll get them regularly. And we also are going to be working with employers to help them figure out who is the best candidates to hire and how do you keep them
Yep.
once they're there.
And I think that's the really one part that I'm excited about, is our retention, not detention
Yes,
series.
yes.
Is to make sure that employers understand that it's not the 3 strikes you're out, but hey, this person hits the second strike. What's going on? How do we
Right.
keep them? Because
Right.
if they're in good employee other than, we need to make sure what else is going on in their lives so that they can keep these great employees.
Exactly.
Because the average is it costs an employer 2 months of that position's salary to rehire.
Right.
So how many times do you want to do that in a year?
Exactly. And you know, along those lines, I just did a survey on my website, on our website. I really would love it if you would go and fill that quick thing out. I want to give employers a view of what you people out there who are miserably employed or unemployed, why? What things really upset you about, frustrate you about the job? Is it your your boss or your coworkers or the pay? What is it? If you'd go fill that little survey out, boy, that would really help us to give a better picture so we can help change the environment you're going into.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're all about. I'm so excited to be working with Amy and to be putting this out there for all of you folks. So please go to our website, findmeajobIlove.com, and we will be very happy to be working with you.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Looking forward
Amy.
to it.
I
Thanks.
really appreciate you coming.
Thanks for
Amy
having me.
Myska, Linda Larson, Schlitz from the Faucet of Hope.